Hey everybody, Jason McDonald here. I do have another demonstration for you. This is a backend API for what's called Business Expense Manager. It's basically just a simple expense manager that a small business could use. It's basically running off of um, uh, four collections that are in a database in MongoDB that handle employees, expenses, inventory, and vendors. And we are going to go ahead and just take a look at what we've got going on with this project. We'll go through a few of the items that are on here and go through some of the different areas that we have. So we have our product. It's up and running, so that's good news. We're going to go ahead and head over here. We're just going to head over to localhost 3000. And this does have authentication in it. I'm already been authorized and authenticated, so I just stepped right in. Which is really straightforward on that. And so what we have here, we just have the different routes that are going to come through here. So the database itself needs to have some dummy data added to it. So we're just going to go ahead and add some together while we're going through this. So I've got some interesting stuff here. So let's start with our employee route. We're just going to go ahead. We're going to try this out here. We're going to replace the body with some dummy data. We'll go ahead and execute that. And you see we've got our employee created message with the ID, so we can go ahead and look that employee up real quick. We've got, the single employee lookup. It's the only one in the database right now, but take a look. We'll execute it, and we've got our employee up here. We also can go ahead and look at our employees, get all employees. We'll see it's just the one still, but hey, John's still showing up, so can't complain about that. Routes are looking good. For that. Now, if we wanted to update John, say John got he got a raise here, so we want to go ahead and update his salary. Right now, we're just going to go ahead and pass that in, just the salary field. And so this should allow us to just update that right off the bat. We'll say he's got $85,000 now. He's got a raise. So we're just going to execute that. And it looks like we got a bad request, and that's because we have validation in here. So what we actually need to be doing is we need to be passing in all of the data from the response body. So just because John got a raise doesn't mean we're just going to update his raise. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to grab the rest of that body. We're going to throw it back in here, and we're going to go ahead and give John his raise that he earned. And let's go ahead and execute that. And we're still seeing, we're updating the ID here as well. We don't want to be updating the ID. So that's something we'd have to take a look in there to see. But this is what we would need here is we would just need to make sure that we're able to pass the data in, because the validators won't let you pass it if they don't have it. As well as we have the error handling that's telling us what the problem is with the error that we've got. So it's going to prove our points there with our error handling and validation too. We'll just go ahead and toss a couple of more in here. We'll just throw in expense here. We'll just get the expense. No, we don't want to get it yet because there's nothing in there. But we'll go ahead and post an expense here off to it. The employee table, the employee collection, by the way, is the one that has the most fields in it. It has 8 of them, if I'm not mistaken. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 9 of them because the created at happens in our back end as well. So it's a pretty big collection on there. We've got a pretty decent sized collection for expenses. We'll also go ahead and throw a vendor in there too. So that way we have a vendor in our database. So we'll go ahead and post on our vendors endpoint right here. And we'll just execute that real quick. And we'll see that the vendor was successfully created. And then in our inventory, we'll go ahead and provide an inventory here too. So let's just go over to our inventory. And we'll post on here too. And we got our items created too. So those are all in there. And our gets, here's our gets. Getting our inventory, getting our vendors. So we got quite a bit going on here with that. So that's pretty good. Aside from the error handling and the validation that we have here, because we do have error handling right here, that handles the different errors, and then we have our validation that's going on right here as far as what happens on a validation error, and it will print out the array of errors that are happening. We also have validation rules in here, so we've got these validation rules that are set up as arrays of validation chains, using the builder pattern to help us build out the different rules as far as what's required for validating that, and that's on all 4 of our routes. We also have tests built up here as well. I'm going to go ahead and we'll just stop the service right here, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at our packages to see what scripts we have, and we're going to run the test coverage here. So we're just going to do npm run test, and this is an area that I worked on quite a bit, but was struggling to get across the finish line. I have a lot of tests that were some of them that are passing, some of them that are not. We have good coverage on a lot of them, and others that we don't. So it's still a work in progress on getting the tests to work, but they are available and something that can be run, and definitely an area of improvement that I can continue to work on this project as it goes forward. So just wanted to give you a quick rundown of everything that's going on. We have our setup where we have our database configurations, our controllers, middleware, models, routes, and validators. This is a pretty widespread project. We've got everything set up with auth as well. So here's our auth configuration using environment variables. And the service itself is also deployed to render. It's live and running as well, and has the environment variables set up as well. So everything is in here where it needs to be. And one really cool feature that I have in here that helps make a difference, you'll notice in the root folder here, I've got a local environment variable file as well as a regular environment variable file. If you come in here to the server in TypeScript here and take a look at our server.ts, what you're going to find is that there's an environment variable called node env, and that is going to determine whether or not this is in production or in testing. On render, that environment variable is set to production, and it will run the production version of the .env, which is just .env. Otherwise, it runs the local .env, and that just handles the difference between running on my local machine with localhost versus running on render. So hope you guys enjoyed this demo, and look forward to seeing you in the next one.